What are you doing?
Oh my god.
I don't even know what's going on.
Hi there, Cancer. This is your weekly reading for the week of November 23rd. I apologize for any confusion as to where these videos would be uploaded to. You probably noticed by now that over 700 videos are missing from the channel Rita Yanez. This is now Rita Yanez TV. What happened before had nothing to do with YouTube or Google whatsoever. This was strictly another tool that caused the problem, and more will be explained to you next year. It'll be especially helpful for you fellow YouTube creators, and especially you young folks, because I want to make sure you guys make very fully informed decisions and that you get information from people that have been on the inside. You know, just one of these experiments where we wanted to get the right information. It was going to require one of us kind of going in, and the opportunity presented itself. Came right to me. And so I'm probably the worst person to bring opportunities like that to, but we got it done. So we'll give you more on that later. Now, in the future, even if you go to the other channel, it will still send you right back over here. We'll make sure to stay abreast of that. And if you notice any other inconsistencies, anything like that, you want to ask me a question, probably the best way is to write me directly on YouTube, where you can actually get a message to me or comment, and then once I go in and see it, I can reply to you there. Okay, so with that said, let us proceed. Monday, the card that you've drawn is the King of Swords in reverse. In this case, it's actually going to be a person, more than likely an adult, in authority over you in some way. So it could be a parent, an older sibling, it could be a guardian, it could be a foster. Whatever it is, this person who is responsible for you is probably not giving you the options that you wish you had. With a Thanksgiving week like this, especially in the United States, and you know, where it's pretty common for parents to not be married or to be divorced and sharing custody, maybe there's a choice that you wanted to make on where you were going to spend it or with what friend, or if the friend could come. You're probably not going to get the answer you want. So with that said, I want to advise strongly that on a week like this with the full moon in Gemini, which any lunation, of course, is going to really make more of an impact on you than others because your ruler is the moon. This is in your 12th house, so it's probably going to be a little bit easier than usual, but anytime there's a lunation, of course, you feel it most. So I would just keep my temper, my emotions, and even my thoughts and my words to myself. And remember that even though it sounds difficult to do when you really want to protest and say what you feel, it isn't always going to be the best for you, because you could end up doing things like, let's say you spout off and say everything you wanted to say in 15 seconds. And then for the next 15 weeks, your cell phone's taken away if you have one, your internet is taken away, you are on restriction and you can't do anything, go anywhere. So don't even ask. You see, it's not worth the trade-off. Plus, I'm going to tell you something. These energies this week, the astrology that is somewhat crotchety, will pass very quickly. So don't worry about it. Just try to have the idea of speaking no evil, thinking no evil, and don't listen to the evil either. Just don't say anything. Just be like a Victorian child. Just sit there and be seen, not heard. And if anybody foolishly tries to drag you into something, then just say, well, wow, I just don't think I'm old enough to have developed an opinion about Fox News or politics or my grandmother's mustache. I didn't think of it. So just play dumb. It will save your life. On Tuesday, we've got the Seven of Pentacles here, and this is a card that indicates that you're getting kind of tired of waiting things out to get the result that you want. You know, There was a commercial, I can't remember when I was a kid if it was for ketchup or if it was for mustard. But there was a song that was a very popular song that was associated with it, and the refrain was anticipation. Anticipation is making me wait. Now, if one of your parents heard me saying that, they probably will remember what I'm talking about. That's already like one of the keynotes for a teenager, right? I remember what it's like to be your age, so don't think that I've forgotten. That's why I do this, and that's why I do this the way I do, because I want you to know that there really are adults like me out there that remember what it's like to be like you. And I talk about my personal experiences because I want to make sure that you guys know that other people are with you on this. Not every adult is a jerk or worse, okay? Yeah, we still have to be parents, but like my kids think I'm pretty cool. So, but I still get to parent and I still have my own rules, but we have a lot of fun too. It's because I told myself to never forget what it was like to have these issues when I was a kid. I did not have a good childhood. So, this is a card that indicates you may be feeling like you wish you could just magically turn 18 or 21 or whatever, but the freedom will come to you, you guys. And where does the freedom come from? College. All you have to do is get to 18 and get your butt in college, and then life is a totally different ball game. You get to make the rules. You get to choose the classes. You get to choose the degree. Your education is on your terms. You don't want to burn bridges, because it is easier to live at home, if the conditions are suitable. Although it is exciting to leave home and go dorm at a university somewhere else. Okay, we don't always even get along with our dorm mates. So just remember that this too shall pass, I promise you. I promise you. In a blink of an eye, you're paying your own mortgage, your own car payments, and geez, real fun, right? So enjoy being young while you can. On Wednesday, the 5 of Wands indicates that there could be some dysfunction. I mean, it looks like dysfunction junction over here. For you guys in particular, it could be more of a spectator sport. Thank God that you're kind of watching this mess. Maybe your parents are like, no, we are going to your hairy Aunt Mildred's place. And you're like, oh my gosh, but she's so mean, and then the food is awful. And, again, don't even say anything, because it could be like this is the week where you just do the one eye roll. And it was only one eye. And you are treated like you're just going to be strung up somewhere. So remember what I'm telling you. Just watch it. Don't say a word. If something gets crazy, dangerous, out of hand, run, calling 911, be safe, and of course, make prudent choices. No one should be subjected to abuse. And if people are drunk or some stupid thing is going on, like somebody was stupid enough to bring alcohol or to serve alcohol at a potentially difficult time, well, you need to protect yourself. On Thursday, we have the 4 of Swords in reverse, which again indicates you might have to be kind of seen and not heard. Keep your opinions to yourself. You can form your trajectories. You could be thinking about how many bachelor's degrees do you want? You could be thinking about whether you want to be a doctor, a dentist, a psychologist, a zoologist, an endocrinologist. You could decide to be anything, a fashion blogger, a fashion designer, a fashion plate. Okay, so remember, plan what you want to do. You guys have much more freedom to dream and do, and your dreams are still so pure because there's nothing holding you back. There's hopefully been no one in your life telling you, well, yeah, you can't grow up to be a doctor because what do you think? You're smart or something. Those are horrible words that some people have to hear. I have heard them in my children's lives. Their dad did it to their step siblings, my stepkids. They're half siblings. I remember the look on my stepdaughter's face when she said she wanted to be, we were walking to our vehicle, and this little girl said she wanted to be a marine biologist and an astronaut. Well, what do you think the first thing is that her dad said to her? You're just like your mother, just, making up and he really had this major dislike for her mother. And I saw the look on her face change from excitement, little girl dreams, to disappointment, to anger very quickly, but I saw it. Her father and I had a big argument about it later that I was like, I understand why you're saying that, but man, we're supposed to be saying if you want to be a marine biologist, we'll be there with you. You want to go to the moon, we better get cracking right now because, there are a lot of things that have to happen in between. And really, we don't want to squish people's dreams. This was the same person who told my son when he was a little boy, he said he wanted to have a candy store. And he said, yeah, that's stupid. You won't be able to do that. And I remember thinking for a moment, how could he have said that to his son? And then it occurred to me, well, first of all, he used to say these horrible things about his own son. Then he would say these things about his daughter. And I'm like, well, why would my kids be any different or special? And it actually took those kids' mother saying it to me. Why did you think it was going to be different? And I was just like, wow, because it's kind of hard to believe that somebody could be a bastard 2 times, or let alone 3. But what I'm telling you is, your dreams are valuable. You can put into practice whatever it is you want to do. I ended up having to finish an education as an adult because my life depended on it at that moment. And so I ended up doing a couple of things and wanted a couple of degrees, and I got them. And I don't lord them over people because I don't want them to think that, well, she's a shrink, she knows what. It isn't like that at all, because look what I'm doing. I'm reading tarot cards and talking to my teen friends. Friday, we got the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, which is, again, you might be feeling a little bit destabilized or out of sorts, like, damn, what is it that just happened with our dysfunctional family? Whatever it is, like I said, try to let it go. Forgive people, even if you don't say it to them. Forgive them in your heart. Let it go, because one day you might want to be forgiven as well. And it is very valuable. We don't have to do religion, because look at what religion has done to the people who are fanatical, and that's not everybody, and it isn't indicative of people who actually do religion. But look at what these terroristic, mentally ill people think, that just because we believe a certain way that no one else can believe a certain way. Look at that mess. But it is easy to extract beautiful things from all kinds of different schools of thought, and to remember that there's actually a lot of wisdom in forgive them for what they do, just the same as you would want to be forgiven. It doesn't mean that you have to say, I'll just forget it and pretend you never did this thing to me. It doesn't have to be that way, but the sooner you learn to just say, I forgive you. If we have Bible stories that say, and I'm not, picking on the Bible stories because it's a great book. I really am not sure who, in authenticity, who actually, put pen to paper. But the truth is that Jesus was said to have said at the moment of his crucifixion, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Very simple words to just know, look, you don't even know you're hurting me. Just let it go. Don't keep it inside. Understand that this is just a world that's kind of harsh, and it's not always easy. But the great thing is that you guys are the only generation that could take this like a champion and turn it into something wonderful. People in my generation have done everything we've been able to, which I think was a lot, to get mainstream, to bring spirituality to people, to say no one's going to hell. Look, don't think that way. You don't have to do religion. You could think and believe what you want, but you guys are actually the ones that are going to execute on this, and you are the ones that can actually heal not just the planet, but you can heal each other. And we're waiting to see what great things you do. So I'm excited about that. Saturday, we've got the Sun card, and the Sun card is a great sign for you. It means that you are feeling more positive and upbeat. And look, even if it's just for a 12-hour period, I guarantee you that you're deserving of being gentle on yourself and dreaming and hoping and wishing. That's a wonderful reason to go to bed at night, knowing that you can dream whatever you want to, and that there's no one who could ever control your mind, okay? You might be on restriction, or you might not be allowed to go out doing crazy things, but trust me, your mind is your own. There's never a prison there. On Sunday, we have the 9 of Swords in reverse, and this is a card that indicates that you may be feeling like, that was very stressful. But trust me, as a weekly influence, this is a good card because it lets me know that as difficult as it could be in different ways, or that even family dysfunction can be a juxtaposition of a lot of people with a lot of problems, it doesn't mean that you have to be a part of it. And if anybody asks you your opinion on anything, you just say, well, wow, I was just thinking about trigonometry and chemistry, and how am I even going to do this? Float off into outer space and play like a teenager. Just shh, 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 and don't tell them what you really think. You guys, I'll be thinking about you. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And again, thank you for your patience.